Is it up yet? No. Oh man.
Yeah.
Cool, great. Just give us a second more. That seems fine. Restream seems like it's
Okay, guys, we lost you for a sec. Sorry about that.
30
just give
seconds
them
to
a
join
chance to
back.
join. No one on right now. Let me see like this. Let's see if they're.
Sorry about that for you. We're just giving a few people chance to get back on. I'm gonna sew this so long because I can do the next one when they're back.
I did comment in the other video, in the comments of the other video, saying that we check us out, you know, the new one in the comments. So if anyone goes there, they'll see that at least. Unfortunately.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. Have we got some people yet?
Bianca's here. She said it. Matt.
Is jy terug, Bianca?
All Matthew fault. He misses Lisa.
Yeah.
Lol
Yeah.
Bianca, yes. And then Anisha just said, "Lol Bianca." Yes, I sabotaged the stream so that Lisa would come and spend time with me.
Yeah.
Things we do for love.
Yeah. Okay, can I go, you think? Should I give it a bit more?
I think people aren't joining. Now we've got 9 people on.
Okay, I can have a sip of my coffee. Oh.
Okay, so we dropped so much friends. I think our internet crashed for a second, and for some reason, YouTube just completely bombed out when that happened. So yes.
Oh well.
I can see the people are joining again.
Yeah,
but I
Tony
just
said
put
she's
them on
back
the
again. Anisha says she's back. She struggled, but she's here. Bianca sent pink poo. Renette said hi. Some people who were not saying anything beforehand are saying hi.
Oh, great. That's what we need to do.
Saskia
But
says
thanks for
I
coming, Donna.
out all the wool behind Amanda.
How many cards did you drop?
11,000.
Immediately.
Well, like 10,000. The 1,000 was really dropped.
Matthew, are you sure you're not on Wi-Fi?
No. It was everything just.
Oh, no, that would that
on my
just
computer as well. So the internet. Just,
yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you can go back.
Okay, guys. So it did give me time to run and get my double-sided tape. This is just normal double-sided tape. As I said, this is the 5mm one. You get an even smaller one, so it really doesn't make an impact. And I'm gonna just stick it on the back. I always like scrape it with my nails so that it stays when I start lifting the paper off. And then you will see you don't need any pins because you're just gonna stick it down. And something else I wanted to tell you is you don't want to go too close to the zip, especially because I've got such a thick zip. Remember, I don't have a Teflon zip foot, so I cannot get as close as I used to, as I am able to with a zip foot. So, but I actually like, it's a very cute zip, so you don't want to sort of lose that. You actually want a little bit of that shine to show. Otherwise, yeah. Just getting it slightly more silver. There we go. And yeah, I'm just stitching it. No stories. As I said, I've made my stitch length longer, and you'll see that even though I've made my stitch length longer, it doesn't necessarily show the much longer stitch, because even with your Teflon foot, you're still working with I want to say sticky fabric. So it still holds back a little bit. Okay.
Guys, there's a benefit to the stream crashing. Now you can like us on YouTube again. So please like this new video as well. I think we're doing quite well on the likes. So please, for you 15 people watching on YouTube, I'm so glad that 15 people already came
Oh,
back.
thank you,
And
guys.
that's with the 8 o'clock load shedding schedule having kicked in. So thank you guys for joining. Please like again on Facebook, on YouTube. You know, appreciate the double likes. You know, it's all actually why we did this. It's all part of the plan.
So I'm just cutting off this little bits and making sure that it's burnt, because this is not it's not a lined bag, so everything in it is going to show on the inside. So you want to make it as neat as possible. So I don't know if you guys can see that, and very nice because you don't have to double. Very nice, very neat. Okay. All right. So what I normally do with this bit is, because this, I need to be able to open my zip, but I don't want that to open up. So this is just a tiny little trick, because this is going to be in the seam allowance. So I don't have to worry that it's going to show, but just to keep my zip this bit, as soon as I open the zip, this is going to pull open, and I don't actually want it to pull open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down on a flat surface. I'm just going to take a little bit of this fabric and put a piece of double side. This is just a trick, hey? This is not, don't tell people I said you should do this. This is just me fixing a problem I have. And I want to make this little bit smaller than 1 centimeter, because I don't want it to actually show. I want to be able to take it off afterwards. So all I'm going to do is I am just going to stick down. Can you see my 2 little ends there? So that when I do this, they don't open up. Is dit nie 'n cute trick nie? Come on. All right. So as I said, we're going to leave that there until we're done, and then we're going to take it off. That is just, it's a placeholder. All right. So next bit, we have the front is done. We're going to take the back, and we are, oh, we might as well go all the way with our double-sided tape. Someone gives you an idea of how to use it. So it just works better than pinning. So anyone who's done leather work before will know that they actually don't pin at all. They only use the double-sided tape.
Bianca says we love to learn all the sneaky little tricks too, and Nisha says love the tricks.
Yeah. So those tricks that you guys are getting for free, and if you're on the WhatsApp group, people are giving it to you for free, because we've already struggled. I've made at least 100 bags where this little bit freaking opens up on me, and then once I'm done, it just doesn't look neat. So I always say that the tips you get from people who sew a long time is hours that you are being saved from. Okay, so I would actually use the even thinner one, but I think that one I took home. So I'm just going to be using, you want to use as little as possible. But it's also, I don't know why I don't have something proper to lift this with, because the pin is really just not working. I normally lift it with my anti-cutter blade, which I don't have for you. Okay, and I'm also, if you see, you'll see that I'm going almost to the edge, but I do not at all want to get into the seam allowance. So I'm staying way clear of the centimeter seam allowance, because I really don't want the bag to be finished and then have these ugly bits of double-sided tape protruding out. Okay, so now I'm going to take this bit and almost like those, you know, those when you do like school books with those sticky plastic. You have to get this to match up evenly. All right, there we go. And guys, if there's like this one, look, this is like a 0.5 millimeter extra, don't worry. As I said, it could be that we sewed like 5 mils closer than we should or further than we should. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew around on 1 centimeter. And again, a trick for beginners, if you buy one of these little rulers, we have them on this side. Firstly, it has metal, so you can't break your ruler. And on this side, if you just put that line there and that line there, you can actually just very easily on a straight line get your seam allowances. I also forgot to tell you, before you stick this down, you want to open your zip halfway. Okay, this is also something I've learned by making a bag, and then the zip is completely closed, and remember the puller is on the inside, so then you're trying to get that puller to come back and it just doesn't work. Okay, so we're just gonna go, maybe I should just go on the side that I okay, just gonna go around. Why? I don't want to do that. What's happening? I don't want to do that. Okay. So I'm gonna start with my enforcement, and I've actually set my stitches up to 3.5 now. As I said, you have to figure it out for yourself, but I really prefer a bigger stitch on anything like leathery. Okay, so I'm going all the way around, and yes, you guys, don't stress. I know what I'm doing. This is not one of those where I get it wrong. It's just spitting on my work. I'm so excited. Okay, when you're running over the zip, just be slow. You're not actually sewing over the zip, but it is going to lift a little bit. Right in the corner. Last one. All right. Okay. That's done. Why did I not have the cut on? All right. Okay. So don't trim anything yet, because this is now we are gonna be doing. Use that. We are just gonna be marking these, and if you like me, and you can wouldn't mind, I don't mind printing this again if I have to use it. There's nothing worse than an old dodgy, dingy pattern. So that gives you a very easy way of getting that corner.
Yeah, because sewing leather, vinyl, and leather, I love using upholstery thread, Teflon foot, and wide blenders max and tension higher.
Yeah, I've never actually done a different. I've only used thicker thread for top stitching, and I've never needed to, because this is it's quite a soft leather, and also the Ceylon thread is really good, so it won't break. I mean, you won't get, and I never ever actually set my tension unless I am working on really thin fabrics like chiffon, which I don't ever. So I never ever set my tension. I always say, if you're a newbie, if you haven't sewn for a while, and people answer you by saying, "Oh, your tension must be wrong," those people don't know what they're talking about. Tension is the last thing you set. You check your thread, you check your threading, you do many things before you start screwing around with the machine's tension. Because sometimes we can do things that we can't actually undo. So if you are not working with a really, I mean, this is for newbies. Now, I'm not saying if you know what you're doing, you can do just, because you're going to be able to get it back to what it was. While if you knew and you haven't sewn for a while, or you don't know your machine, you are going to set the tension out and you're never going to get it right again. Okay, so I've marked those corners. All right, and what we're going to do is we are going to cut in and cut those little corners out. As I said, this is really a phone size bag. We're just gonna get cut right through. We're taking those little squares out. There we go. Like counterintuitive. We just sewed this and now we're cutting it. But yes. All right. There we go. Done. Okay. We also need to find the top of the bag, which is here. And if you always, why not make life easy for yourself? Just mark the top. Okay. So what we're going to need to do now is I have this, as I said, I have this really big fancy strap and I've never been able to put it in anything. And I've always wanted to use it. So this needs to go into the bag. Just looks like difficult because I have the biggest strap in the world now. See what I'm saying? You can't actually get a zip open from the there we go. So I'm going to put that, make sure, remember we don't want a actual twist in the bag, in the strap. This strap might be overkill, guys, but we'll see. So because what I want to do is when I pull this open, see, I want the strap in there, right in there. Make sure that your seams are right on top of each other. There we go. I'm gonna so I've got the one side of the strap coming out there and the other side, just checking that it's not twisted. No, other side of the strap. And I suggest you flick flack these. I always used to say to the students, did you flick flack? You flick flack one side, because we don't want to open the seam up because it's just going to look very unneat inside the bag. You can also now, if you want, let's cut a little bit of this seam allowance away, and then we can also get rid of my little bits of safety strap there, just so that we don't have such a big seam allowance on the inside of the bag. But because this vinyl has such a nice black inside, it actually doesn't look unneat. Let me do this one also. Do all of them. I'm just cutting them down to 5 mil. Okay, just to avoid a lot of bulk. So I'm going to just flick flack, and I'm going to take the zip one to the back of the bag and then the top one to the front of the bag. And I'll tell you why I'm specific about that now. That's there. This is really the only time I really use fabric clips, guys, is when I'm working with leather or... Okay, so now can you see that this one I flicked forward on that side? So obviously I'm not going to do that because that's going to make a twist. So I'm flicking that seam forward here also. on, get in there. All right. Making sure that my two seams are right on top of each other. And then that's what I clip first. You can imagine this is going to be like a very thick bit for my machine. And there. And then we're just doing the bottom ones. Again, I flick this one this way, so obviously it's going this way again. And then the bottom one is going the other side. Flick, flack. Alright. Guys, I just want to say, once we've done this, the bag's finished. Can you believe that? Flicked it that way, so it's going the same way, and the other one is going forward. There we go. It really is a tiny little bag, but very easy to up this pattern to because it's just square. You can literally just add 2 centimeters all around, and you're gonna add it to all the part. Okay, so now we're just gonna sew at 1 centimeters there, all of these little bits, and thinking how.
I think it's type of needle and maybe needle blanks for pain.
Okay.
And all machine tensions are different due to wear and tear. Because they have same machines, but setting and tensions can be different.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the thing. If you're new to sewing, you have a new machine, and it doesn't need to be set. I always say to my to my students, I always tell them that for the first year almost of sewing, don't worry about tension. If any, oh guys, don't even. I'm on these Facebook groups, and I just want to scream every time someone has a problem with their machine. There's always like 10 people saying, oh, it must be tension. And then you have a bright spark, okay, that comes up with, oh, that must be bobbin tension. Firstly, bobbin tension is on old machines. We don't have bobbin casings where we can set the tension anymore. Secondly, anyone who's been sewing for a while knows that setting your bobbin tension is not something you tell a newbie. It's not hanging. It's that same sort of thing. Okay, so now